Hello, it's Mr. Layton here. Hope you're all safe and well. I'd like to talk to you today about student leadership in Shrewsbury Academy and what that might look like when we return to school in September. I want to start off with a quote from an American leadership trainer called George Lakey. And he talks about leadership as being the taking of initiative in a relationship. For me, there are two important parts to that. First, there's the idea of taking the initiative, using your knowledge and your skills to help, encourage, guide other people. And the second part is a reminder, really, that leadership isn't just about focusing on the individual leader, but rather on how they communicate their ideas to others and how others respond to them. There are two basic forms of leadership. There's formal leadership, where someone has an official role or title, like head teacher or pastoral manager, and there are other types of leadership that happen much more spontaneously. So these are people who take the lead when they're needed. You might not necessarily think of yourself as a leader, but I'm sure you can think of a time when you took the lead, took the initiative in a situation. We want to encourage both of those things at Shrewsbury Academy. We think there are a few principles of student leadership that we want to encourage, and the first one is about giving you opportunities for taking the initiative so that you can use your skills and your knowledge to help improve the school. We also think that leadership isn't necessarily about who's the most popular or the most persuasive, that leadership can come in many different forms and require lots of different skills. Therefore, we'd like a really good mix of people with different skills on our student leadership team. We need confident public speakers, but we also need people who are good at encouraging others. We need people who are good at planning and organising projects, but we also need people who are good at written communication. We believe that student leadership should be about giving you the opportunity to participate in the decisions that most affect you. We also believe that it should be all democratic. You have a right to a say in who's going to speak for you and who's going to make decisions on your behalf. That's why we're going to hold elections so that you can vote for the student leaders who represent you. We also think that our student leaders should be doing work that's both valuable and useful. Being a student leader isn't just something that you do to put on a college application form. It should be about influencing change in school. It should be about making a genuine contribution to school life. We'd like you to think about our student leadership team as having a few different elements. Firstly, we need 2 head students. Now notice that we've not said head girl or head boy, and that's because we think our 2 head students can be of any gender. We just want the best people for the job, regardless of which gender they identify as. Our 2 head students will then lead a team of student leaders who will each have a responsibility for a different area of school life. There'll be 4 house captains, 3 student learning leaders, 2 student pastoral leaders and 2 student community leaders. The learning leaders will coordinate a team of subject ambassadors who'll work with teachers in their assigned subject areas. So for example, they might develop a mentoring program in English or help PE with the year 6s when they come into school. The pastoral leaders will coordinate a team of student buddies, and we'd like to train those students so that they can resolve conflicts around school, help promote diversity, be advocates for good mental health. Of course, many of these things are already happening in school, but this is an opportunity for you to be involved at a level where important decisions are made. And finally, the community leaders will work with a team to raise the school's profile by organising community events such as fundraising. They'll also help to improve the life of the school community. You might be wondering how we're going to elect these different school leaders. Well, each student in the school will vote for the 2 head students, and then you'll vote for members of the school leadership team. This will be a 3-step process. So if you're interested, you'll need to complete an application form and return it to me. If you pass the application stage, you'll then be invited to attend an interview with members of the Student Council Communications team. Next, you'll be asked to put together an election campaign that the rest of the school will see. You'll need to promote your ideas in what we call a manifesto. That's usually a document, a speech, a short film that explains what it is that you'd like to see happen in the school and why you think that you would make a good student leader. We recognise that not everyone is a confident public speaker, that some of you might be particularly good with a video camera or be talented at expressing yourself in writing. Therefore, we'd encourage you to promote your ideas in any way that you want. So this might be a speech that you give in a school assembly, but also it could be a leaflet handed out to form groups. You might even put together a short film for form tutors to broadcast. Finally, the whole school will vote for their preferred student leaders, and we'll do this via our form time student council meetings. It's really important that you know that we want to encourage any student of any age, of any academic ability, to apply for any of these positions. You don't have to wait until you're year 11 to be a head student. You don't have to be the perfect student with the perfect grades to be a house captain. You don't even have to be the most well-behaved of students. We want to encourage every one of you who's interested to apply, because we recognise that each of you has the potential to be a good leader, and we want to give you all the opportunity to prove it. So if you'd like to be a student leader, you're going to need to complete an application form and return it to me, Mr. Layton, by 3 p.m. on Friday the 12th of June. Thanks for listening and stay safe.